Hi, all of you. Is my sound is audible? Anybody can confirm? Are you able to hear me? Anybody? Can you tell that are you able to hear me? Just keep it in chat now, yes or no, so I can start. Okay, fine. So today we are going to see the Jenkins setup. Okay, so for this Jenkins setup, what we have to do is we'll be launching a EC2 instance with the Amazon Linux machine only. Okay, and for now, I don't want to confuse you, so we'll be opening the multiple security group. So we'll be opening all the traffic currently. So you have to launch a EC2 instance with the Amazon Linux image, and then you have to open all the security group. That is the thing you have to do. So you'll be launching the instance here. You can give the name of the machine like this, Jenkins Cloud 27. Okay, and you can select Amazon Linux second AMI. Instance type, let it be t2.micro only. Key pair, you can select one. Okay, and in the network setting, just make sure that you are editing it and you are coming to the add security group rule. Here you are adding all traffic, and here you are making it anywhere. That's the only change you have to do, and you have to launch the instance. Okay, so this is the first thing you have to do, that you have to launch EC2 instance with all the security group open. Okay, and now let me just filter out the running instances. Okay, once the instance will come, it's become running. Okay, then you can again proceed with the next step. Okay, so after the second step will be, you'll be connecting to this particular EC2 instance using the putty or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just connecting to this machine. Okay, so I am copying the public IP of this, opening the putty. And SSH auth credentials, put in. Okay, once we connected to this machine, then you can start. After connecting, the first thing what you have to do, you have to become the root user, sudo switch user root. Okay, once after becoming the root user, you can follow this official documentation to follow. Okay, so just open this particular official documentation. Okay, and try to follow the things. Okay, so in this documentation they are telling you how to launch the EC2 instance, how to create it, how to select the key pair, everything they are telling, how to connect using the putty. So these all things you already know. Okay, the thing is, now we are going to download and install the Jenkins everything. So for that particular things, we'll be just doing. Okay, I think here one thing is missing. Okay, in this documentation, I don't know why they removed it, but there is one thing missing. And um, okay, I will tell you what is the missing here. Okay, So first, let's start with this download and installing Jenkins. So the first command, they are asking us to run the sudo yum update -y. So I'll just press enter. So once the first command is run, then they are saying you have to add the Jenkins repos. Again, you'll be just copying this command. Again, this all things you can just follow the official documentation. You don't have to worry about. Okay. So this is also done. Now in the third step, they are saying you have to import a key file. So again, I'm just going to copy this command. After they are saying that you have to run a upgrade command, upgrade. So it will upgrade everything. Okay. And if they are showing here Jenkins everything, that means it is done. Okay. Now in this fourth step, they are saying I am installing the Java in the Amazon Linux 2023. If you are using Amazon Linux 2023, then you can simply copy paste this command, your Java will be installed, right? But we are using the Amazon Linux too. So this command is not going to work in our case. Okay. So you have to come to this documentation. Here you will see that there is an option called this one, install Java. Up to here, we already done these all things. Okay. This install Java. So this command you have to just copy it to install the Java, because Jenkins is written in Java programming language. So if your Java programming language is not installed, so you cannot run it. So I will just copy this command. It will install the Java. Then again, we can follow the official documentation. Okay. So this is the only extra thing you have to do, that you have to install the Java. Once the Java is installed, okay, then they are asking to install the Jenkins. So for that, they are saying you have to use the command called yum install Jenkins. So I'll just press this command. It will install the Jenkins now. After the Jenkins is installed, they are saying that you have to enable the Jenkins. So even if you restart the machine, Jenkins will be in the start state itself, like that. Okay. And after enabling, they are saying to start the Jenkins, you have to use the command called systemctl start Jenkins. These all are the things we already doing. Okay. And to check whether Jenkins is running or not, we have to run the command called sudo systemctl status Jenkins. This command will check, tell whether Jenkins is running or not. So let it first start it. It will take around half a minute to start the Jenkins. Now see, Jenkins is running. If this is coming that Jenkins is running, that means you have successfully installed everything well and good. You can clear the screen. Okay. And since Jenkins is running, to check whether where the Jenkins is running, so they are saying your Jenkins will be running on the port 8080. And to run that, you have to copy the public IP and then you have to open the port 8080. So what we'll do is we'll come to our machine, we'll copy this public IP, open a browser, hit this public IP, go to the port 8080. If you press enter, you'll able to see the Jenkins page here. Okay. And currently it is saying as unlock Jenkins. That means Jenkins is currently locked. Okay. So there is some password here that you have to write it. So they are saying to read this password, you have to go to this particular path. So simply just copy this path /var/lib, come to your machine, do the cat, and then paste that particular path, press enter. They are going to show some token. So just copy this token, make sure you are not copying any extra space or something, and then just paste it here and click on continue. If password will correct, then it is going to come here. Now here they will say that you are going to install the Jenkins. So basically sometimes what happens whenever you are installing some software, that software requires some basic things, right? So you can just do install suggested plugins. Automatically some plugins will be installed by default in the Jenkins. Okay. Or you can manually select also. So we'll just go for install suggested plugin. Automatically they will try to install. So see, these all are the plugins they are going to install one by one. So we'll just wait once until and unless these all plugins are getting installed. Once all the plugin will be installed, you will be automatically redirected to a new page. Okay. And in this page, they have to follow the username. So you can just select a username and selecting admin, whatever the password you are setting, just remember that password. This is going to be useful for you. Okay. So I'm just selecting that password. Then you have to give some name here, whatever the full name. Okay. If you want to give your email address, you can just give it here, email address here. Okay, so these all are the configuration that you have to do. Once you do these all things, simply click on save and continue. So username is created with this password and they are saying you are going to access the Jenkins on this URL at time, and just save and finish it and click on start using Jenkins and your Jenkins will be started. Okay, so it will look like something like this. Okay, so from the next time, whenever you log into the Jenkins, so basically what you have to do is something like this. You will be copying the public IP. You will be pasting here. Then you will be going to the port 8080. So automatically they will land us to this page. Here, whatever the username I selected and whatever the password I give it, that I have to just type it. Then I will do the sign in. I will be logged into the Jenkins. Okay. So up to here, is that clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Installation. Okay.
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Once the installation is done, so these all are the steps basically we have to follow to unlock, install the suggested plugin, creating the user's name. Once it will be done, this is the page that we are currently present. Okay, now we are going to give a first simple job to the Jenkins. We want to give a job to the Jenkins that you have to do this particular work. Okay, so how to do that? Either you can create a job by directly clicking on this, or you can click on new item. Okay, and here you can just give your job name. So I'm just giving job name something like first simple job, something like this, because I'm just giving a simple job and I'm selecting here freestyle project and click on OK. So I'm just created a simple job to the Jenkins, first simple job. Now Jenkins will say that what are the description you want to give, any type of the descriptions. I'm saying that this job will run basic Linux command. Something like this. I said that you have to run some basic Linux command, come down, and we are not have to worry about all these things. And I'm saying that what you have to do is you have to execute sail. Sail is that Linux terminal, right? So you have to run some commands. So what command? So I will just select here execute sail. How? In the build step, click on add build step, click on execute sail, and here write all the commands. Like take an example, I'm saying that you have to run the date command. Then you have to run the cal command, you have to run the pwd command, you have to run echo hello command, like this way. So basically I said that you have to run these 4 commands, okay, and simply click on apply and click on save. Once we done this, so now what happened if I'll again go to the dashboard? So this is the page. Now there is a job is coming here, first simple job that we just created, okay, and currently there is no build happen. That means this job never ran. Okay, here the description is coming. If you want to run, think that whatever the job I given to this, they should run it. So I will just click on build now button here. As soon as I will do the build now, what is going to happen is here #1 is coming. That means it's become success. And since it becomes success, if I'll do the console output here, so see what are they done? They run the date command, right? They run the calendar command, right? They run the pwd command, okay, and they run the echo hello command. So whatever the command I asked them, they run it. And currently they run the date command. That output is coming as 34821. 34821. Again, as soon as I will run this second time, like see, one time it is already run it. If I want to see the console output, click on down arrow, click on console output, you will see this output 34821. Again, if I will do build now, what is going to happen? Again, they will run the entire thing one more time. Okay, #2 build. This time #2, what is the console output? So see, this time 349.5 output is coming. That means this time again they run the entire command. So whenever you will click on this build now, whatever the command you are going to type it, they will run everything. Okay. And if you want to do some changes here, if you want to add some, if you'll come down, right, and you want to add some extra commands, everything like that, that also you can do. Just here, edit that. Okay. Take an example. I want to run date plus percentage capital income. So one more command I just written. I will click on apply. I will click on save. So from now on, again, I'm click on build now. So the third time this build is going to happen. So they will show one more output now. So if I'll do the console out, so this time they are showing after echo hello, they are printing date plus percentage a also, that is Tuesday, today is Tuesday, so they are printing it like that way. Okay, so this makes sense how this is working. Okay, so whatever the job you want to create, you can just create it, you can give some task to them, they are going to perform it, right? So that particular thing only I just documented here. Okay, how to do it, everything. And if you'll see here, one more thing during this console output, there's a command called pwd. Okay, what this pwd command is saying, that they are saying currently you are present inside this location at this particular location, first simple job. So basically what is happening here is, let me connect to this machine. So whatever the things you are going to do, right? Whatever the things you will be going to do, they are going to do it in some specific location. Okay, and that particular location is /var /lib/jenkins/workspace. This is the location. And see, till now currently I created only one job, so this is showing only one directory, right? And whatever the file you are going to create or something, that will be created inside this only. What is the meaning of this? Take an example. I am configuring this again, this job, and inside this job I am saying that whatever the date command you are going to run, just save that particular file output in a file called date.txt. Okay, so they previously they were printing it. Now I'm saying whatever the date command output will come, just save it in the date.txt file, and I am applying it and save it. Now currently if you'll see in the workspace, nothing is there. That means you are present inside the first simple job directory. Nothing is there. But as soon as I'm going to click on build now, so they will run the entire build, and here one more file will be created with the name called date.txt. Okay, so wait, I run 2 times, so sorry for that. Okay, so see, date.txt file is there, and since we run this 4 and 5 2 times, basically in the date.txt file, if I click on this view symbol, right, so 2 times output will be visible, because we run the command 2 times. So first time they run at 351, second time they run at 352. That's why 2 time this time is visible. That you can verify it from here also. If I'll go in the cd first simple job, we'll see that a date.txt file is created. If I'll try to read it from here, I will get the exactly same output. As soon as I will do build now, one more time this entire command is going to run. They will save the output in the file. If I'll run cat date.txt, see, now the 3 output is there. That you can view it from here also. If I'll view it, so see, 3 output is there. So like this way we can easily see. Okay, so make sure that whatever the things you are going to do, it will be done inside this particular location workspace, and inside this workspace, for every job there will be separate directory will be created. Okay,
How do we know that, sir? It is in that var/work directory.
no, you have to remember this.
Oh, remember. Okay.
And that also I shown you also, right? When I run the
Yeah, yeah,
pwd command, right? That time they
yeah.
are telling us that currently we are going to do all the work inside
Oh,
this. Okay,
okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
that's why I printed the pwd.
Okay.
Or whenever you will click on this workspace here, also you are getting that you are doing everything in the first simple job / right? So you are present at that particular location. Up to here, you have to always remember /var/lib/jenkins/workspace. Anybody can ask you that what is the default folder where Jenkins will be saving everything.
Okay.
Okay, now what we have to do is we want to create a GitHub integrated web server job. Okay, so again, this is a complex thing that we are going to do. Okay, so I don't know that entire thing will be completed or not, but let's just start. I will give you the brief here today, like what is our goal, how we'll be proceeding ahead, everything. Okay, so the thing is, there is a GitHub repo. Okay, this is the GitHub repo which we'll be going to talk about. Okay, so let me just open it. So this is a GitHub repo, take an example, right? Inside this GitHub repo, I written a file, index.html. Inside this, I written some content. Okay. Now, what is my goal is, okay, that I want to launch a web server EC2 instance. If you remember, in our load balancer classes, we created a custom web server image, right?
Yeah.
We created a custom web server image, right? So with that custom web server image, if I am going to launch a EC2 instance, okay, I want to launch a EC2 instance from the custom web server image, and we'll open the port 80. So I am coming here, and I'm coming to the instance. I'm launching one more instance, and this time the instance name I am going to give it as Jenkins web server 27. And we are not going to use these images. We'll be going in the my AMI section, and we'll be using the cloud 27, that one image we created. Okay, instance type will be t2.micro only. In the traffic, we'll be allowing it allow HTTP traffic. Key pair will be selecting cloud 27 one, and that's it. Make sure allow HTTP traffic is there, and we are going to launch instance. Okay, so what is going to happen? A EC2 instance is going to launch. And if you remember why we created that custom image, so there was the only one particular reason that if you'll create EC2 instance from that particular, so you don't have to worry about setting up the installing the HTTP website, installing the Apache web server, installing the PHP, nothing you have to worry about. All the things were already done it, right? So see, this is the instance created. Since this instance got created, so if you remember, if somebody is going to copy the public IP of this instance and they will directly paste it in the browser, they will see a website here, okay? And that website we designed, if you remember. All of you remember this?
Yes. Yes, we remember, sir.
Okay. So this was the thing happening. But what is my goal is, I want that this Jenkins, okay, this Jenkins should take the code from this particular GitHub repo. Whatever the code is present here, that background color should be yellow, and these are the things that it should print on that website, right? So they will take this code, Jenkins will take this code, okay, and then Jenkins should log into this EC2 instance machine. Jenkins should log into this EC2 instance machine. Okay, the second EC2 instance, which one I just created. And inside this particular EC2 instance machine, let me connect to this using browser. So this is the EC2 instance machine that web server was. Okay. Inside this, there was a location called /var/www/html, right? And whatever the file you are seeing it currently in that particular website, so that is coming from this location, index.php, right? This website. So I want that at this particular location, they should paste this index.html file, so our website will be visible at this particular location. Is this making sense?
Do we need to write that program in Git first?
Program
This
for what?
website program. The color background yellow and all.
Yeah, we have to write it, this type of the things, right?
First. Okay.
So basically it is something like that developer will be writing it. Okay.
Okay.
Now developer written the code and they upload it in the GitHub. I want to deploy this website. So I will be taking this code and I will be pasting inside this EC2 instance at this location. Then only it will be visible here, right?
Yeah.
Now the thing is, a developer can upload this particular code at any point of the time. It is not like they are uploading in now only. Maybe they can update in the midnight also, right? So as soon as they are doing the changes, again, every time manually, I am not going to copy this entire code and then again I will log in manually in the EC2 instance. I will change the file, right? And again, I will say that it is deployed. What I want is, as soon as developer is uploading the code in the GitHub, automatically it's the Jenkins duty that they should paste the latest code here inside this particular machine. Make sense?
Yes.
So to achieve this, what are the requirement you have to do? First, you have to make sure that you created a web server from the custom image, then you become the root user there. Now the thing is, Jenkins is going to log in, right? Jenkins is the one who is going to log into this EC2 instance machine, right? So how they are going to log in? I cannot provide the root credential to them. Make sense? To connect to that particular machine. So I will create a user, like in the Ansible classes also we created some users, then we given some permission, if you remember, right? So that type of the things we are going to do exactly same as the Ansible classes. So what we want to do is, let me close this. We are creating a user with the name called Jenkins Web. Okay, so I'm just creating a user with the name called Jenkins Web, and we are creating where? We are creating in the Jenkins web server cloud 27 machine in which this website is running. I'm creating a user, then we have to set the password. So we'll be just copying this command and they will ask to set the password. So whatever the password you are setting to this Jenkins web, just remember that password, because this password you have to tell to the Jenkins. So I'm just setting a password here, and this password I have to tell to the Jenkins, then only they will be able to log in. Now, once the Jenkins will get this username and password, now the thing is whether this username can do everything inside this. Currently, this is a normal user, right? They don't have any root power or something. So if you remember in the Ansible classes, when we created the Ansible user, you cannot install some software or something using that user, right? Then we given some privilege access using the vi sudo command, then only they were able to do so. So exactly same way here also you have to open the vi sudo file. It is exactly same thing we already done in the Ansible classes. That's why I'm called root here. There was a line called root, this one, and here we are pasting something. If you remember, we are pasting like Jenkins web all is equal to all. Okay, so there we are pasted Ansible, if you remember. So I'm just creating a user with the name called Jenkins web, and I am giving all is equal to all. We have to make it as capital, and here all. So once we given this, simply save this file. Okay, and once this sudo file is updated, what we have to do, we have to go to this particular file sssd config. Okay, and we have to uncomment 2 line and we have to comment 1 line, if you remember that. Okay, so this was the file in which we have to find for the line called permit root login. This line we have to uncomment it. Then there was a line called password authentication, right? This line we have to uncomment it. Then password authentication, no, this line we have to comment it. Simply save this file, and then we had to restart systemctl restart as a system. So this is the exactly same thing what we were doing in the Ansible classes. So it's got restarted. Once it's got restarted, these all things. Okay, now there is one more thing is there. Like currently, if we'll see, we have to paste this file to which location? //www/html location. Okay, now the thing is, who can paste the file to the HTML directory? Who is the owner of this? Root. Who is the group? Root. Right. Others user, are they having any permission to write?
No.
No. Jenkins web will be treated as a other user. That makes sense for this HTML directory. So they don't have the right permission. So now what we have to do is let's change the owner of this directory. I am changing the ownership of this HTML directory from root to the Jenkins web. How? So command I already taught you, chown. So this command will change the owner, and as soon as I will paste this command, what will happen is now the owner becomes Jenkins web, and since the owner becomes Jenkins web, now they have the permission of read, write, execute inside this directory. So now if somebody is going to log into this machine to the as a Jenkins web user and they will try to paste something in the HTML directory, they can easily do it. Okay, once this is done and you've done this, now your setup of from this side work is completed. Okay, from this side your work is completed. Okay, once this is done, now only my goal is we have to keep checking that in this HTML directory, okay, currently index.php file is there, but here Jenkins should paste that particular file. So now we'll come to the Jenkins side. Okay, and to the Jenkins we are going to say that I have to do some SSH to some machine, right? We have to do some SSH login to one of the EC2 instance. So for that, Jenkins will say you have to download some plugins. So I will just go to the plugin section. Okay, and in this plugins, what you have to do is you have to download a plugin called publish over SSH, because my goal is that Jenkins will take the code from this GitHub and they will publish this code to one of the EC2 instance. Okay, so for that they will require a plugin, and whenever you want to download any plugin, you have to always go to the manage Jenkins, go to the plugin section, go to the available plugins and search here any plugin available. I want to search a plugin with the name called publish over SSH. So there is a plugin here called publish over SSH. Just click on this, click on install. This plugin is the one which is going to help you to install. Okay, so just wait for that. Once it will become success, then we can again proceed ahead. once the plugin is going to be installed, right? Now you can again come to the manage Jenkins, okay? And then you can go to the configure system. So now the configure system name changed to the system only. So just go to the system. And just now we downloaded a plugin called publish over SSH, right? So now we have to configure that plugin, right? It is something like this. You downloaded something, then you have to configure that. So here you will find that somewhere publish over SSH will be written somewhere. If you'll keep coming down in this manage system one, you'll see publish over SSH is there. Okay. Now in this publish over SSH, if you'll come here, they are saying that if you want to add a SSH server means I am giving the credential, username, password. See how Jenkins is going to log into that particular EC2 instance. Until and unless I will not tell them the username, password, this public IP, they cannot log into this machine, right? So that all information I have to tell. So I will just click on SSH server add. What is the name of the SSH server you want to give? You can give whatever the name you want to give it. I can just give the name something like web server. Okay. If I given the name called like web server test, whatever the name I'm giving, make sure that you are remembering this. Okay. Now host name. Host name is basically the IP address. Okay. So I'm saying let's connect to this particular machine. I'm not giving the public IP. Let's give the private IP because both are running on the AWS cloud. So this can log into this machine using the private IP also. So I will just write the private IP. So even if our instance is going to be restarted, we don't have to worry about username. We created a user with the name called Jenkins Web. If you remember, remote directory, you have to give it slash. Okay. So I provided the IP address. I provided the username. One thing is missing, that is password, right? Click on advanced, click on use password authentication and mention the password. Whatever the password you set to this particular user Jenkins Web, that you have to write it. Okay. Once you written the password, come down, click on test configuration. If it is giving us success, that means whatever the credential you written, password, username, IP address, everything is correct. If I'll try to hit some wrong password here, and now if I'll try to test configuration, this is going to fail, right? It is failed because Jenkins is not able to connect. But again, as soon as I will give the correct password, now if I'll try to test configuration, so say it's working, success. Once it's becoming success, click on apply and save. So this work is also done. Now I know that how Jenkins can reach there. So just I have to create a job for the Jenkins or create a task. Click on new item. I am saying that web server job, something like this, and click on OK. Click on freestyle project and then click on OK. And here just you can write the description like this is a web server job. Okay. Now they are saying, okay, fine. Are you going to take some code to some particular location or something? So I'm saying that yes, I want to take the code from the GitHub. So I will just select here Git. What is the repository URL they are talking about? So they are saying that what is my repository URL? So I can come to this my particular repository and I can code it. What you will be doing is you will be forking this repository to your account. Then whatever the URL is generating here, that you will be copying and then you will be pasting it here. If I'll paste it, this is going to give some error. Why? Because Git is not installed, right? So they don't know anything about the Git currently. So how to do this? So you have to go to the Jenkins machine. This is the Jenkins machine, right? So this machine you have to go and here you have to install the Git software because Jenkins does not know anything about Git because we never installed the Git software inside this machine, right? So what you have to do is become the root user and just hit this command yum install git-y. If you'll install this command git-y, so Git is going to install in the Jenkins machine, okay? Then Git will be able to understand this repository URL because who is going to take the code from this repository URL? Jenkins EC2 instance, right? So Jenkins EC2 instance does not know about the Git, then how they will reach to this particular repository URL. So now if I'll again close this and I will click on add repository again and I will paste this, this time that error is gone because now Jenkins know how to reach that. I installed the software there. So I given the URL. Now the code, you have to take it from which branch. So in my case, the branch is main, not master. It is main branch. So I will type it here */main. So I'm saying that you have to take the code from this repository URL from the main branch. Okay. Then after taking the code, what you have to do? You have to log in, right? So click on add build steps there is a command here in the build step, send files over SSH, right? That was the plugin publish over SSH. So just click on send files, which file I want to save, pass it, and in which location. So what was the server name I created, if you remember? Web server test. Inside this server name only, I given the username, credential, password, everything, right? So they are taking that SSH server automatically. Now they are saying which file you want to move it, transfer that. So I'm saying my file name is index.html. So I will just write it here. My file name is index.html. Now they will say that that particular file you want to paste it to which location. I am saying that you have to paste it to the /var/www/html directory. This is the directory where we have to paste it. Okay. Once I will do this, click on apply and click on save. So now it's the Jenkins duty that they will take the code from this particular GitHub repo and it will paste it to this particular location, right? /var/www/html. Currently, we are not seeing that file. But as soon as I'm clicking on build now, it's the Jenkins duty that they are going to take the code. If I do the console output, what they are doing is they take the code from this GitHub repo and they connect it to this particular machine and they pasted that. And if that is true, because it is saying as success, I already done it, whatever the work you said, it is coming as green color. So if I will refresh this page or doing the ls here, are we able to see index.html page? Yes. And since the file is copied here, so now the customer is going to refresh this page, we are able to see this page. Make sense?
Yes.
Not only this, take an example. I'm taking this URL. Let me open it from my Brave browser because I want to do some changes. So now in this GitHub repo, take an example, somebody want to do some changes. Okay, from this yellow color, they want to make this color as a orange. And as soon as developer committed this change, okay, they done the changes, developer done the changes, but my website will be still visible yellow color only. Why? Because currently Jenkins does not done this job again, right? If I will click manually here, build now, so it's the Jenkins duty that they will copy the latest code and they will paste it inside that EC2 instance. And once the Jenkins will copy the latest code in the #2 build, now you'll refresh this page, orange color is required. How easy it is. Developer is just changing the code here. We have to just click on build now and this is going, entire process is automated. Make sense? And even if you'll see here, cat index.html page, currently they have orange color because they pasted the latest code. So every time you have to just click on build now, Jenkins will take care of all the things. Jenkins will go here, take the code, everything. Fine. So try to do the installation, okay, and try to run some basics jobs. Tomorrow I will show you how to automate this process. Currently we are changing the code and we are manually coming here and clicking on build now, then only this website is getting updated. Okay. Tomorrow what I will show you is if somebody is doing the changes here, like take an example, I want to make this color again to the powder blue. So my goal is as soon as somebody will upload this code, okay, somebody committed. So we don't have to come here manually click on build now. As soon as I will refresh this page automatically, it should become powder blue color. But currently I have to manually trigger this using the clicking on build now. #3 build will happen, then only it is changed. But I don't want to achieve this. I want it should automated. So that I will show you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then try to do the setup of the Jenkins, all of it. Thanks. Have a nice day.
Thank you.